There's probably no better way in the world to spend some free time out in the fresh air enjoying a nice breeze. In fact, some 40 million Americans enjoy freshwater fishing, and they're willing to pay top dollar to do so. In fact, it's a $20 billion a year industry in this country.
Many fishermen think nothing of spending thousands of dollars on a boat and driving hours to large lakes. Then there are others who are not quite as dedicated, but still enjoy an occasional outing to cast a reel. So rather than buy an expensive boat and travel long distances to a public fishing area,
many people are turning to fee fishing ponds like this one.
Have you got the poles? Yes. Would you like to bet some? 4. All right.
Many fee fishing operations are found in the South. Catfish lakes are among the most popular. Customers pay by the pound for what fish they catch from specially built and managed ponds. At most fee fishing lakes, customers can rent tackle, fish in a well-stocked pond, and even have their catch cleaned before they go home. It's not only a good deal for the customer, it can be very profitable for owners and managers of a fee fishing pond. Fishermen are willing to pay for high-quality recreation activities that are close to home.
So if you're interested in owning or managing your own fee fishing operation, or just want to know a little bit more, stay with us for the next few minutes and we'll take you through the steps of building your own fee fishing operation. To understand how fee fishing or a fish out operation works, you need to understand the role of 4 key players.
These are the owner, the manager, the fish supplier, and the customer.
Some people try to be the owner, the manager, and the fish supplier, but we don't recommend it. You'll be better off trying to get some help. Let's talk about the owner's role first.
The owner is responsible for planning and financing the operation, but where do you start? The first and most critical decision the owner must make is where to build.
Location is really critical to the success of any catfish fee fishing operation. A good rule of thumb to follow is to choose a site that's about 30 minutes or less from a center of population of 100,000 people.
Sid Corbin has been running his fee fishing business just 20 minutes from Wichita, Kansas for more than a decade. He likes the spot because it's right off the interstate. Success can also be found right in the heart of a major area. The Landing, a combination fee fishing business and restaurant, is located near downtown Oklahoma City.
We have I-40 within blocks. We have I-35 within blocks. We have the entire Mid-Dell area within reach. Large population.
Some fee fishing businesses have prospered near smaller population centers or even near popular public fishing lakes, but you may not be able to attract enough customers.
Before you invest any money, find out what licenses and permits you must have. Some states require licenses for water rights and discharge, also permits from the health department, and an aquaculture permit. Your county extension agent or aquaculture extension specialist can help you identify the necessary agencies to contact.
Liability insurance is another important factor to consider before you spend a lot of money. An owner needs liability insurance to protect himself.
We carry large liability insurance just to cover ourselves and make sure that we don't get put out of business.
Good liability insurance is important, but it can be difficult to find. I'd suggest starting with an insurance company that specializes in insuring recreational enterprises. Don't give up if your initial quotes are expensive. Keep shopping around.
One way to reduce the risk to customers is planning ahead. Have life-saving equipment near the pond and consider limiting the use of alcohol in the fishing area.
Once you have a general area in mind to locate your business, think about a water source and proper conditions for pond construction. Let's talk about water sources first. Wells are the preferred source of water.
Good well water is free from wild fish, parasites, and contaminants that can cause serious problems in any pond culture situation. It's also there whenever you want it, 365 days a year.
Streams and reservoirs are less desirable. Chlorinated water from city water systems is toxic to fish and must be avoided. You'll need a flow capacity of at least 50 gallons per minute for each surface acre of pond that will be built. There are several points to keep in mind when choosing a site for the ponds. The slopes should be less than 5%, and soils on the site should have good water holding capacity. To help you evaluate sites and assist in planning pond construction, contact your county soil conservation service.
An important item to consider when designing a pond is to remember that not all catfish will bite. In fact, 10 to 30% of the catfish stock will refuse to take a hook.
For this reason, ponds must be designed for easy removal of fish by seining or using big nets. Levee-type ponds are recommended. Earth-moving equipment is used to excavate an area, and the soil is then used to build the levees. The result is a smooth-bottom pond that holds 4 to 6 feet of water and has a gravity flow drain. Levee slope should be at least 3 times as wide as they are high. This slope is ideal for reducing levee erosion and also allows the use of tractor-mounted mowers. Levees must be regularly mowed to discourage snakes and other pests. Construction can take from a few weeks up to a year depending upon the weather. Costs average around $3,000 per surface acre of pond. A series of ponds between 1/2 and 1 surface acre in size are recommended. At least 3 ponds are needed to help ensure that fish will always be biting in at least one pond. Ponds should range from between 100 and 150 feet wide to provide privacy for the anglers.
Once you decided where to locate the ponds, you can fill in the rest of the operation. Think about parking lots. Parking lots should be located close to the ponds, but not so close to disturb the fishermen.
You're going to need a small building to serve as a combination ticket booth, convenience store, and watchtower. It should be located between the ponds and the parking area. All access to ponds should be through this point. Fishing equipment and supplies should be available here for purchase or rental to customers who don't bring their own.
They're allowed to bring in any types of bait that they might have, their own recipe baits if they like. We recommend them bringing their own tackle. They do not have to. We do have cane poles that we provide for a fee.
My customer can bring only his pocketbook with money in it, and I will furnish everything else, or he can bring whatever he prefers, his own pole, his own bait, and whatever he wants to bring with him.
This service center should provide a clear view of all ponds. What about people who want fresh fish but don't want to go fishing? Live catfish can be held in vats at the service center, allowing you to sell your non-biting fish. Freshwater flows constantly through these to keep fish alive. Flow rates for these should be worked out in consultation with your aquaculture extension specialist or an experienced fish farmer. Another service your customers will expect is fish cleaning. The facility can be located in the service center. Find out health department regulations before beginning construction. Floor drains, special sinks, and materials approved for food handling are standard requirements. You may want to plan a modest amount of landscaping, but don't overdo it. Keep your ponds simple and rectangular. Shade trees and seating are desirable, but should be kept off the levees or they'll interfere with mowing and seining. Curved levees, docks, islands, and similar structures should also be avoided because they make seining difficult. Most sites will need a fence. Other steps to discourage poaching include security lighting and even locating the manager's living quarters on the site. This should give you an idea of the layout and planning that the owner of a successful fee fishing operation must do.
After construction's completed, it's the manager who's responsible for the daily operation. Now, the manager needs 2 important skills. He needs to be able to manage fish, and he needs to be able to manage people.
Ideally, a manager should be someone who knows how to handle and care for fish, such as an experienced fish farmer. A good second choice is someone with solid farming skills who's experienced in raising animals.
Let's talk about the fish managing skills a manager should know.
Under the surface of this fee fishing pond, fish are packed tightly together. That makes them vulnerable to water quality problems such as lack of oxygen and high levels of ammonia. These problems can stress fish enough to keep them from biting or even kill them outright. To prevent such stress, the manager must test the water regularly. Water samples must be taken and analyzed using a test kit. Oxygen levels must be checked during the night and early morning hours. Emergency aeration equipment is essential, but too much aeration can also be harmful. Most states offer workshops in aeration and water quality management for fish farmers. You should take advantage of these. Because fee fishing ponds are stocked so heavily, feeding must be conservative. Fish out ponds are stocked between 3,000 and 5,000 pounds of catfish per surface acre. Feeding as much as the fish will eat will lead to disease outbreaks and fish kills. To prevent this, fish are fed lightly, 1 to 2% of total body weight twice per week. Feeding is intended only to maintain fish weight and health and not for growth. It's very important to keep an inventory of the fish in each pond. Keep track of the number of fish stocked and the number caught each day. This allows you to know when the ponds need to be restocked or when fish are just becoming hook-wise. And if that's the case, the pond should be seined before restocking. Hook-wise fish are usually then sold on site as live or dressed fish.
Those are some of the basic fish managing skills, but a good manager must also know how to manage people. Most customers will expect a friendly word about how the fish are biting.
Many will need help baiting hooks and learning how to fish. Some will try to throw back fish that they've caught, or sneak fish out without paying for them. The manager's schedule is an irregular one. The manager will need to be available during the peak periods for fishing, which are usually weekends and evenings.
My employees run it, basically, but at times they get swamped and they need help, and so I have to be available on the phone or on location to come in and help, because they never know how many fishermen are going to drive in at one time.
In addition, fish out operations are seasonal businesses that usually close down in the late fall when the water temperature dips below 60 degrees. So the manager should be prepared to find another job during that downtime. Now, that's a brief summary of the duties of a manager. The fish supplier is a key person in the fee fishing business. This is the person relied upon to deliver top quality catfish, sometimes on short notice.
A fish farmer who has many years of experience and numerous ponds is your best bet when searching for someone who can properly supply a fish out operation. Mac McBride of Longview Ranch has been supplying fish in Oklahoma for several years.
This year, we should produce somewhere around 125 to 130,000 pounds of fish. Our goal is probably about 250,000 pounds. Is about what our goal is.
This is the size catfish Matt likes to see.
This fish here is about it's about a 3-pound fish, and it's a pretty good size into the fee fishing lakes, pay lakes, and so forth. They like a little bit bigger fish. Because the customer likes to catch a big fish. They always like to go to a fee fishing lake and catch a larger fish. This fish is probably about 3 years old. He's excellent health. They have a tendency to haul real well when they're about this size.
Fish out operations generally use a larger catfish in the 2 to 3 pound range because customers prefer larger fish and less time will be spent in cleaning. Fish suppliers generally charge more for these large-sized catfish.
But growing the fish is just half the battle. They must be handled carefully so they can be delivered in top quality condition. And as Matt can tell you, that requires a specially equipped truck.
It's pretty important to have the proper equipment when you go to live hauling fish. You've got You know, your insulated boxes, which help you on your water temperature. You run liquid oxygen on them, which helps keep your water temperature down also. And plus, if you have a breakdown or something, that your liquid oxygen lasts much longer on the truck than what your air pumps or your agitators. And then plus, you need to have the proper size drain valves and the proper size, size tanks to meet the needs of the people that you're going to. You need a good truck underneath it so you don't have all the breakdowns and so forth and so on, and you need to be able to unload your fish properly when you get there.
Managers should check the fish when they're delivered. Sig Corbin says that's the time to spot any problems.
Whenever you buy a load of fish, it doesn't make any difference whether you're hauling them or somebody's hauling them to you. It's very necessary to check that load for various things. First, trash fish, sickness, weight, size of fish, how they're quality of them. They can be thin and long and tough. You want top quality fish for a fee fishing place.
So before you open a fee fishing operation, find an experienced supplier to ensure you a good source of healthy fish ready to take a hook.
For a fee fishing business to succeed, you must always keep in mind the customer's point of view. Who are they, and what are they looking for from your business? Research has shown that the first thing people want from a fish-out operation is good fishing.
I got a fish.
But they also want a fun and safe family activity as well as pleasant surroundings. Most customers go fishing in groups of family or friends. Many older or handicapped people are attracted to Pay Lakes and have special safety requirements. And of course, you can expect plenty of parents and grandparents introducing their youngsters to fishing. Let's go over a few tips that will help you get your business started. First is as simple as an attractive sign.
Next, you'll need to decide your prices, and this will vary by location.
The amount charged for fish should at least equal the average retail price for live catfish in the area. Some fee fishing operations depend on concessions and fish cleaning to provide the majority of their profits. A small entry fee is usually charged to keep out the curious.
What about paid advertising? Well, it may be a good idea when you first open.
Initially, when we opened 3 years ago, we flooded the market with television, radio, newspaper advertising. After that, we've done very little advertising. Word of mouth has kept us going very nicely, and we do very little. We do fishing tournaments for the Cub Scouts and charity benefits, and with the word of mouth and doing our benefit shows, very little advertising has been needed.
Well, first of all, the best advertisement is word of mouth. One person telling another person where he had very good success. I do advertise in Yellow Pages, and that is quite successful.
There are a couple of other tips that might bring in customers. Try stocking a few large catfish in each pond. This can sure increase the excitement of fishing. Also, photos of fishermen with their catch can be posted or even published in the local paper to draw more business.
We've covered most of the points you'll need to know before starting and running your own successful catfish fee fishing operation. But before you get started, take the time to thoroughly plan your own operation.
You should develop a business plan whether you're going to a bank or self-financing. If you can't make it work on paper, chances are it won't work once you're open for business. And remember to keep in mind the following key points. First, choose a site close to large numbers of people. Make sure you'll have 50 gallons of water per minute for each surface acre of pond. Ponds should be located where soils hold water well and slopes are less than 5%. Find a manager who has good farming skills and can work with people. To provide consistently good fishing, you'll need strong, healthy fish at stocking, frequent water quality checks, and removal of fish that become hook-wise.
Now, don't try to do this all by yourself. Most states have an extension aquaculture specialist that can assist you in the planning. and will be able to provide you expert advice on all phases of building and operating your own fee fishing business. We hope this video will get you started on the right foot.